What's going on, y'all? I'm Czar, and in this video, I'm going to show you a brand new plugin from Waves called Harmony. As the name suggests, this is a plugin that allows you to create vocal harmonies. You can create basic up to complex harmonies, and using UI features and elements from other Waves plugins such as Ovox and Vocal Bender, you can also take those harmonies and add creative effects on top of it. One of my favorite features of this plugin is the fact that it can generate these harmonies based off of the vocal. So for people like me who don't know music theory, you don't have to know music theory to use this plugin. You can put it on the vocal and it's going to generate the harmonies based off the pitch of the vocal. Let's take a closer look. So this is Waves Harmony, and looking at this, we can immediately see that we have some UI elements from Ovox with the section at the top, and the modulation section at the bottom is from Vocal Bender, and this middle section reminds me of a updated Waves S1 stereo imager. So let's go over these controls, and then of course I will let you hear what it sounds like. So if you're familiar with Ovox, this top section is very familiar to you already, but this generate notes section is going to allow you to generate notes from the incoming signal or the vocal track that you have it on. This is really great because without knowing music theory like me, I don't have to know what harmonies I want. Waves Harmony is going to automatically generate those harmonies based on the pitch of the track, or based on the vocal pitch of the track that you have. It's going to generate those notes, and we can turn that on or off. If we have it off, we can use the keyboard to put in our own harmonies. We can manually enter them, and we can use a MIDI keyboard to create the harmonies as well. Since I'm not a music theory person, I'm going to leave this generate notes on. Below that, you have a minimum note that you can select, and you also have tolerance, which is going to determine how quickly a new note is generated. This section here, we can choose chords or harmonies, and for right now, I've just got a simple 1, 3, 5. And if you're familiar with Ovox, we've got the same natural, hard, and notes and off for the correction here. This is going to increase the volume on the source, and you've got the harmony level here, so you can just mix and blend between that. You got your output control here. Below that, we've got pitch and formant for all the notes. You can turn all the notes off, or you can even solo just the harmonies there. On the right, we have snapshots. So this can store up to 32 snapshots, and pretty much everything in this plugin is automatable. And with the snapshots, I got 2 here. And the second one, you can see I'm doing some modulation, and we'll listen to that later in the video. And this knob here is going to select between your snapshots that you have. And of course, you can also click on each one to load them. And if you got Vocal Bender, you're familiar with the modulation section that you have here. We can click this, and when you drag it, you can see all of the parameters that you can add that modulation effect to. And we've got a total, this is 8, 4, 8, 9. The last one, the spreader, is here on the pan. It's going to control the stereo image and width of the harmonies. All right, so before we get to listening to this, because this is a vocal track and we're adding harmonies to the vocal track, and because I'm using this generate notes, you're going to want to tune the vocal track and make sure everything is on the correct pitch before you start using this plugin, because if you got a note that is off, then it's going to create a off harmony for it. So before this plugin in the chain, I've got Waves Tune Real Time, where I'm doing a little bit of tuning on the vocal. Not much is really needed here, but it is necessary to tune the vocal before using harmony, just for the best results. All right, so I've got the key of the song. You want to select the key of the song, and you want to lock it here once you got that information. Like I said, we've got 1, 3, 5 here. So I'm going to turn generate notes off, and we'll play this, and I'll just bring this in and out so you can hear some harmonies that it's creating on this vocal. This is a singer-songwriter named Simone Curry.
He's got the whole world in his hands. 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 He's got the
All right, so very nicely creating harmonies there. Let's go through some of these presets and just switch it up and see what we've got here. So I had a 1-3-5. Let's do a third below and fifth.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world.
All right, let's do one more. Let's go to chords. Let's see. Let's do Dream. Let's see what that sounds like.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world.
All right, that's nice. I like that. Let's go back to the 1-3-5 and let's switch over to the second snapshot where I'm doing some modulation here. So I've got the formant moving a little bit here as well as the pitch. And that's M1, so that's this one. And then on the pitch, I have A1 here. And let's listen to that.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world.
So you can hear, not only can you do, basic harmonies here, we can do some creative stuff as well. Lastly, like I said, most of the functions on here is automatable. So I've got some automation wrote, which is basically what I've been doing already, just turning on and off the generate notes. So I've automated the generate notes, and let's turn this automation on. And this is just me automating the generate notes on and off for the harmonies to come in where I want them to.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world.
All right. And one thing I want to point out with this is that I find this really easy to use. So my final thoughts here on Waves Harmony. This is really easy to use. I mean, I did read the manual, but I don't feel like I had to read the manual. If you're familiar with Waves plugins, you can jump right in and start using this. And again, this is great if you don't know music theory like me. That's probably my biggest weakness is music theory. I definitely want to get better at it, but you don't need it to use this like you do with other Harmony plugins. I really wish I had this a couple months ago when I was doing a mix, and the artist, I'd recorded the song and mixed it, and during the mix, she really wanted some more harmonies added on a few phrases, and the artist was from out of town, and I didn't want her, traveling all the way to Nashville just to do a couple harmony parts. So I was like, I've got, a few plugins I can mess around and add some harmonies, and she wasn't feeling what I did with it, but I'm curious if she would have liked what I did if I would have had this plugin here. So easy to use if you don't know music theory. Absolutely fine with this, and definitely comment and let me know your thoughts on this. One thing I'm liking about these last few plugins that Waves has been putting out is that it's not something that we already have had, and they're not like redoing stuff that's already had. Like these have been new plugins, and definitely something that's missing from the Waves lineup. I think if you take this and combine it with Ovox, you've got a very powerful harmony and vocal synth chain right there, just between those two. And then if you add Vocal Bender on top of that as well, things can get even crazier. But definitely going to be messing with this more and bringing you some more content as I learn more and experiment more and just figure more things and uses out for it. I've got a link in the description if you want to check this out and learn more about it or pick it up. If you like this video, I appreciate a thumbs up. And if you want to continue to see content from me, then you know what to do. Any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time.